Well, I guess'n it be about time to get this warmed up and going. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Oh, now, how be this get to working again?
Press the button.
Which
no,
button?
No, not that one.
Not this
the
one.
left.
That one.
No, your other left.
This other one.
Oh,
Which one are you talking about?
I meant the right. No,
What
but not
are you-
that big red one. The
this
other
way.
red button.
Not-
Just not the big, happy, shiny one.
You mean the one I just pushed?
Yes, for crying out
Oh,
loud. You don't
right.
know what you're doing.
I
That's
know
a
perfectly well what I'm doing.
Not that button. For crying out loud. You just sit here on your patootie. You play
Well,
with your buttons. I go make coffee.
You do that, but don't slam the door. I be making a mistake. I took and looked at the thing called the news. I opened up the paper, and there be all kinds of ridiculousness. And I've come to the realization that the people out there in the radio land needs to be hearing from the captain and learn more about education. That be right. There are too many silliness going on, but not good silliness, bad silliness. So, let us have this particular episode slightly dedicated to education. We're going to talk about mathematics. We're going to be talking about histories. We're going to be talking about the ABCs. And swinging with that. Speaking of that, let's go straight to the Three Stooges with Swinging for the Alphabet. I believe that be it. And if it ain't, I'll correct it somewhere along the way with my little red pen like a teacher. Welcome back, me mateys. Welcome back.
Ready, sister? Let's get that junk out of here. Come on, boys, scram. I'll give you the idea in a nutshell. B-A bay, B-E-B, B-I bicky by, B-O bo. I'll give you the correct demonstration. Cutie pie, pound those horse teeth.
B-A bay, B-E-B, B-I bicky by, B-O bo, bicky by bo, B-U boo, bicky by bo boo. C-A-C, C-E-C, C-I sicky si, C-O so, sicky si so, C-U sue, sicky si so sue.
Get the idea, girls? Now we'll all join together on the letter D.
D-A-day, D-E-D, D-I dicky-di, D-O-do, dicky-di, do, D-U-do, dicky-di, do. F-A-F-A, F-E-B, F-I bicky-fi, F-O-Bo, bicky-fi, Bo, F-U-boo, bicky-fi, Bo, boo. G-A-J, G-E-G, G-I jicky-ji, G-O-Jo, jicky-ji, jo, G-U-Ju, jicky-ji, jo, ju, la-da-da-da, F-J-A, H-E-E, H-I hickey hi, H-O-Ho, hickey hi ho, H-U-Hoo, hickey hi ho hoo. J-A-J, J-E-G, J-I jicky ji, J-O-Jo, jicky ji jo, J-U-Ju, jicky ji jo ju.
K-A-K, K-E-T, K-I kicky kai, K-O-Ko, hickey kai ko, K-U-Koo, hickey kai ko koo. L-A-Lay, L-D-Lee, L-I licky lie, L-O-Lo, licky lie low, L-U-Loo.
Early's a dope. M-A-May, M-E-Me, M-I Mickey my, M-O-Mo, Mickey my mo, M-U-Moo, Mickey my mo moo.
I can tell this isn't Durani's day, but folks, I've had my moments. Yes, I've had my moments. When I look back through life, I find lots of memories remain. Certain days stay in my mind and keep running through my brain. I remember the day that Edley swam the channel. What a flash! I remember the Wall Street crash, or when Winchell first shouted flash. But there's one day that I recall, though it was years ago. All my life I will remember it, I know. I'll never forget the day I read a book. It was contagious, 70 pages. There were pictures here and there, so it wasn't hard to bear. the day I read a book. It's a shame I don't recall the name of the book. It wasn't a history, I know, because it had no plot. It wasn't a mystery, because nobody there got shot the day I read a book. I can't remember when, but one of these days I'm gonna do it again. Why, if you walk into my house, you'll see loads of books. And believe me, they're not there just for appearances. I press an awful lot of butterflies. I know reading is relaxing. What did Napoleon do for relaxation? He read a book. What did Lincoln do for relaxation? He read a book. What does Congress do for relaxation? They book a read. You know, I'm familiar with all the bestsellers. There's the Encyclopedia Britannica, Forever Umbriago, and a new piece of significant literature which says, Atka Gritka Batka Setka Engelaffa Alla Molly Shui. How do you like that? I've been reading the life story of Mumbles. But I love good reading. Why, last week I spent 2 solid days in the library. Much to my regret, I buried my nose in a book, and what happened? I forgot which book I buried it in. But good past the stroke. It wasn't a history, I know, because it had no plot. It wasn't a mystery, because nobody there got shot. One day I read a book, I can't remember when, but one of these days I'm gonna do it again. Yes, sir, one of these days I'm gonna do it again.
There be Jimmy Durante with his form of education with I'll never forget the day I read a book. I understand that feeling. I read a book or 5, or was it 3? Well, I've read a book before, and it was a wonderful thing. It truly was. And after that, you can also use it for other things, like steadying out the table when the floors aren't even, or if you have to go out and have a call to Mother Nature. It's a wonderful thing to take with ye, especially the old catalogs. Ah, those are the days. Oh, enough of that. Now, let's go with Christina Levins with, what is it? Oh, dear. What is it that we be in? Oh, I should have to read me own notes. Oh, here it is. Too old for the National Spelling Bee. That doesn't seem to be spelled right. It's B-E-E. Oh, why, there's one more E in there than there should be, I think.
I'm too old for the National Spelling Bee, but you know, that's just as well. As a kid, I was a whiz with words, but now it's hard for me to S-P-E-L. L. But maybe you still have dreams of mastering difficult words. But will you listen to what they threw this year at those cute little brainy nerds? Granache. That spells Grenache. A wine grape grown in southern France. Probably fun to squash. Daurlauf. Dauerlauf. A long-distance cross-country ski race. Take your mark, get set. Now they're off. Take your time. This isn't downhill skiing. No rush. It's just a Dauerlauf. Clotrimazole is Clotrimazole. Ew. An antifungal ointment you apply liberally. Flittern. Flittern. Pertains to the bark of a young oak tree. That's a word you probably never thought you'd learn. Sententious. Sententious. What do you think it means? Wanna hazard a guess? Yes, abounding in aphorisms. An aphorism is a tersely phrased bon mot, like, if you always do what you always did, you will always get what you always got. Mom's Mabley said that. Clogyn.
Lavin. You want to try that again?
Oh my God. Oh, is it Clogwyn?
Correct. Continue.
Where was I? Oh, Clogwyn is a cliff. Alastor, Alistair. That's an avenging deity. Who knew they had tiffs? Weiss Nichtwo. Yup, that's a German word. It's pronounced Wissnichtwo. It means an imaginary situation or setting, like competing in a spelling bee. Oh, I must come to grips with the fact such glory's not meant for me. Last night I dreamed I was told to spell Huma Huma Nuka Nuka Apua'a. That's a Hawaiian triggerfish. So then I said HUMUHUMUNUKUNUKUAPUAA. I got it right. But that's as close as I'll ever get to a spelling bee. In my dream last night. So I'll set my sights on other dreams. Dreams I might attain. Like mastering American Sign Language. That's a workout for my brain. And learning to knit a cable. That's something I have yet to do. A spelling bee is out of reach for me. So kids, I leave that to you. Yukari. Yukari. That's a tree-dwelling, short-tailed Amazon basin monkey. It's got shaggy fur, human-like ears, and a distinctive bald face that gets all flushed when he gets excited and starts jumping all over the place. Look at that Yukari monkey up in that tree. Someday he might help Uakari win a spelling bee.
Every time I read a newspaper in Los Angeles, California, I get pissed because things don't have to make sense in L.A. I read an article in the paper in L.A. that said they're going to try to outlaw the big screen, real-life handgun shooting video games because they say that that's what's wrong with the youth of America today. They learn how to accurately shoot guns with video games. It's not a parenting problem. Oh, no. No, it's a video problem. Doesn't it piss you off when you have a genuine problem, you try to tack a solution to it? It's got nothing to do with the problem. You know what I mean? I came up with a great idea. Don't outlaw those machines. Give them to the state troopers of California because they're some of the worst shots I've ever seen in my life. I saw a shootout once live on TV that went on for so long, eventually the criminal got frustrated and shot himself. And the cops are on TV whining about it, going, he's got on body armor, he's got on body armor. I'm watching it live on CNN going, I can see his head, shoot him in the head. Give my kid a shot. How's that, Daddy? Good shot, Poot. Everybody relax. Poot took him out. Thank God Poot was there with his considerable skills. Horrible shots, some cops are. You ever see tape of the Kehoe brothers from Ohio? Those guys that get out of that white Suburban, they show it on cops. These guys, folks, have a shootout with the police at point blank range. Nobody gets hurt. I would love to have been at the office the next day when that guy's being interviewed by the chief. And then what happened? Well, at that point, I unloaded my semi-automatic 9mm weapon at point blank range. And then what happened? They left. Nice shooting, Elmer Fudd. There was a kid in Detroit 3 years ago, shot 8 bullets, hit 9 people. These two cops shot 22 bullets, didn't even hit the Suburban. Give those guys a roll of quarters, drop them off at the mall. That's all I'm saying.
that there be Ron White showing how education can come from many, many different directions. Sometimes even from video games, and even us adults sometimes being needing a little extra education in the finer arts of things. California Cops, Ron White right there. So let's think about math. That's right. It's not just about the reading, the writing, but it's also about the arithmetic. It's math by Ukla the Mock, right here on the Captain's Quarters.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. An ant crawls at a rate of 1 foot per minute on a rubber band. The band is 1 yard long and stretched at a rate of 1 yard per minute. If the ant begins at one end of the band, will it ever reach the other end?
If so, how long will it take the ant? Will it make it if the band has a 2-yard lead?
Billy goes to school with 15 quarters in each hand. One Biff pays for his lunch and then another third pays for a field trip. Billy saves half of the rest but then gives the other half away to his only friend.
How much did Billy save? And if he makes more friends tomorrow, how much more will he need?
Train leaves from Chicago, traveling south at 10 miles an hour. Another train heads north at twice the speed, 50 miles away. If the trains both leave at noon, then at what time and at what place will the trains collide?
Extra credit, tell how far each train ran. Give your answer in miles to the nearest tenth.
Is throwing 16 feet per second from a water tower. The tower's perpendicular to the ground, 96 feet high. Find the heart of the ball after half a second. What's the speed of the ball when the ground breaks its stride?
How long will it take the ball to fall? How deep in the ground will it make a dent?
A plus C equals D minus A. A plus C equals D minus A. A plus C equals D minus A. To A plus C equals D. How many roads must a man walk down before his journey is complete? Given that he wants to walk 27 miles, and each road that he walks is 4,000 feet. Please round your answer to the nearest tenth, and show all your work on a separate sheet. The answer, my friend, is 17.4. The answer is 17.4 roads.
We'll be back. We'll be cutting the commercial. Don't be forgetting that we are going to go to a vintage commercial first. Then we go to our true sponsors. That's the ones that help pay for the special things, so we can be properly educated on all kinds of subjects. You don't learn how to crack a safe without a little bit of education. Oh, let's see. Oh, don't be forgetting, you'll be needing to call in to the request line. That's 1-323-HEAVE-HO or 1-323-432-8346. Don't be forgetting to dial the 1, or you won't be getting through to anyone. I made a good one.
Everybody needs energy-packed Sunbeam bread. Yes, it's all aboard for fun in the park, but Junior hasn't got energy enough for fun. He'd sure like to ride that horse. Hey, what's this? An energy-packed Sunbeam sandwich. You bet every delicious slice of Sunbeam bread sure does pack a big energy wallop. There's nothing like Sunbeam Energy to help you stay on the beam. Now, look at them go! On Sunbeam Energy, they sure do enjoy life. Everybody needs the kind of real zip and zing pep that delicious Sunbeam bread gives you. Yes, stay on the beam with energy-packed Sunbeam bread. All day long, eat Sunbeam bread and renew energy as you burn it up. Eat delicious Sunbeam bread.
Let's be a stopping into BC's restaurant and see what Mike be a cooking up.
But I's brought us some raw squid and salami sandwiches so we could his picnic.
Oh, that's nice. But I wanted to treat you to a nice meal.
I'll save these for later.
Aye. Let's be fetching in.
Oh, this is nice.
Aye, that'd be. And it looks like an old-fashioned diner at that.
And looks at this menu. It looks so good. They got the wings, the subs and salads. I think I get a BC big plate. Let's see. It comes with the cheeseburger, the hot dog, the fries, the cheese sauce, the meat sauce, and the coleslaw. Better mix that too. What are you having, my little pumpernickel?
I think I'll be having a double dog special. Oh, goody. It'd be a coming with chips and a drink too. Ha ha ha.
BC's Restaurant, 238 Oakwood Avenue, Elmira Heights. They have indoor, outdoor, and takeout available. 607-735-2166. And they're open from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday.
Well, we're back, and I've got something truly special for ye. It be Arlo Guthrie. Hey, that kind of rhymed. It's Arlo Guthrie with the story of Moses. This is to teach ye about history, and I'm sure this is exactly the way it happened. Listen closely and get all the details right, for there might be a quiz at the end.
This is the oldest song in the world. No, this song is so old. I mean, it might not be the exact oldest song in the world. I mean, there might be songs like from Atlantis or places that ain't around anymore. But I don't know, like any songs from there. But of all the places that's still around, this is the oldest one I know. This song goes all the way back to Egypt, all the way back to the pharaohs, all the way back to the first pharaoh. Not only that, but when he was a kid. Imagine the kid pharaoh, the first one, being there, sitting there in his golden rocking chair, watching the Nile River flow by, the hippos playing in the mud, the giraffes running around, the trees growing, the grass is blowing in the wind, the birds flying in the sky. Everything was wonderful. Everything was beautiful. Everybody thought the Pharaoh was God. They said, that's God Kid Pharaoh. Anything he wants, he gets. But there's certain disadvantage to being God Kid Pharaoh. Like a lot of things was brought to him. I mean, like when his stash come to him, it was already rolled and lit. That's right. He thought it grew like that. Amazing. One day the sun rose blood red. Pharaoh said, what's this? He looked down the Nile River. The Nile River had more water than he could handle, more water than usual. It was coming over the banks, coming over the hippos. Pretty soon it was covering up the giraffes and the trees and the birds was all right, but everything else was getting covered up. Pretty soon it wiped everything away. All them hippos, giraffes, all them animals, folks, people, trees, everything was just wiped away. Brought down river, wherever the river was going. Pharaoh couldn't handle this. He said, man, I can't handle this straight. So he called for his stash and his fiddlers 3. Nobody showed up. He went looking for his own stash. And in back the room, he found the biggest pile of stash he could ever imagine. And there in the middle of that pile was all these round things. Pharaoh said, "What's all these round things doing in my stash?" He figured out that if he had a little strainer, he put some of the stash with them round things in, all he'd have to do was jiggle that strainer a little bit, and pretty soon the stash would come falling through, and the round things would stay on top. That's what he did. He threw them round things out in the mud and sat back to contemplate. Pretty soon, the warm sun and the heat of that mud was yelling out to them little roots, "Come out of there, you roots!" And them little round things turned into little plants, and little sprouts was coming out the ground. Pharaoh was freaked out. He said, "Wow, look at that! Little stash plants growing right there in the mud." He said, "Wait a minute though, I don't know how to pick I can't pick no stash. I'm God. I'm the Pharaoh." He had a few things left over from the flood. He took out his chariot, took some spears, some clubs, some tear gas, mace, stuff like that. Hitched up his horse, went riding around the countryside, rounding up these wandering dudes. He said, "You wandering dudes, I'm Pharaoh, I'm God, I'm the kid. You gonna come pick the stash for me?" They said, "Hey man, we don't know about you being God, but you got the spear, so we'll pick the stash." And this is how it went. For generation after generation, wandering dudes picking the stash for the Pharaoh. Pretty soon they was planting everything: lettuce, grapes, tomatoes. One day, a basket come floating down the river. Just a little basket. Just like it had eyes, it was avoiding all the rocks. It seen the princess on the side of the road. She was taking a bath in the river. It pulled right over there, stopped right there in front of her. She said, "Wow, look at that, a basket." She opened up the basket, and inside the basket was the most dynamite, fantastic, unbelievable kid she had ever seen. This kid had eyes that pierced right through her. She said, "Boy, I'm gonna name this kid Moses." And she was right, because that's what his name was. Everybody dug Mose, not just her. I mean, newspapers coming around for an interview with Mose. TV cameras saying, "Smile, Mose, smile." Everybody wanted to see little Mose. Everybody, including the Pharaoh, loved little Mose. He grew up to be a heavy-duty cat. Everybody loved Mose. One day, Mose out in the field with them wandering dudes. He thought he recognized somebody. I mean, he realized he was one of them wandering dudes. He said, "Wow, what am I gonna do about this?" Mose went out to think about it. 40 years later, Mose come back. Mose wasn't quick, but he was right. You know, while Mose was out there, the most extraordinary thing happened to Mose. He was out walking around one day, and all of a sudden he saw a bush burning on the side of the road. He said, "Wow, I better check this out." He walked right over, and the bush said, "Mose, take them shoes off." Mose never heard a bush talk before. He's freaked right out of his gourd. He said, "What's this?" Bush said, "Mose, this is God." Mose freaked out right then and there, said, "What you need, God?" God said, "Mose, I'm gonna send you right back to Egypt land. I want you to tell that Pharaoh to let my wandering dudes go out in the desert." Mose said, "I don't know about that, man. I mean, anything but that. Send somebody else, you know what I'm saying?" God said, "Mose, I'm sending you." Mose said, "All right." Moses walked back there, walked right up to Pharaoh, said, Pharaoh, I was walking down the road one day, seen a burning bush on the side of the road. I walked right up, and this is what it told me to tell you. Let these wandering dudes split. Pharaoh said, hey, come on, Moses. I mean, what were you doing out there in the desert? You know what I'm saying? Anything but a burning bush, man. Moses said, hey, that's the truth. Pharaoh said, hey, I don't care if it's the truth or not, but these guys gotta stay here, help me pick my stash. How can I keep my stash rolling in? How am I gonna keep happy in my life with all these wandering dudes gone? I can't pick that stash myself. Later that night, the Pharaoh's taking a bath, and all of a sudden, the bath turned into blood. Pharaoh said, wow, look at this. I mean, I knew that stash was good, but there ain't no stash this good. Turned on the shower, same thing. Walked over to the toilet, same thing. Wherever it went, the water had turned to blood. Pharaoh's freaking out. Walked over to Moses, said, Moses, you know anything about this? Moses said, no, I don't, but what's them frogs doing coming down the road? Pharaoh looked behind him, and sure enough, there's frogs coming all the way down the road. I mean, there's millions of little frogs just walking down the road. Pharaoh freaked out. He said, wait a minute, man, what kind of trip is this? Moses said, I don't know, man, but what's all your cattle doing dying? Pharaoh freaked out again. He looked around, every cattle he had was dying. This went on. The Pharaoh's going through all kinds of trips till finally one day, Pharaoh said, Moses, cut this. We gotta do something. I mean, why don't you guys just take them friends of yours, them weirdo wandering types, and just get out of town. You know what I'm saying? Moses said, right. Know exactly what you're saying. But we ain't gonna leave till we get to, we're gonna plunder this joint. Pharaoh said, you gonna what? Moses said, yes, right, man. For millions of years, you've been sitting here generation after generation. We've been planting, and you've been smoking. And all we had to eat was some of them seeds. Well, we want to take some of that stash with us. Pharaoh said, what? You mean you want to take my stash? Moses said, that's right. And Moses packed up as much stash as he could take. Why, he took everything: pizza, hot salsa sandwich, Dr. Pepper, root beer, orange juice, and stash. And early that next morning, they start walking across the desert. Walking! You know what that was like with the sun burning down, the wind blowing the sand? I mean, there's wind just blowing that sand in them poor people's faces. And the desert wasn't like it is now, all packed down after thousands of years of people walking on it. Nobody had walked across it before. They was over their knees in sand, and it was hot, and it was hard going. One cat in the back of the line, his name was Freddie. He opened up his knapsack, he had to have a bite to eat, couldn't hold out much longer. He reached in for his pizza, hot sausage sandwich, Dr. Pepper, root beer, orange juice, and it wasn't there. Why, he come out with some fantastic conglomeration of stuff he had never seen before. He took it up to Moses, said, Moses, what is this? Moses said, I don't know, Freddie. Take a bite. Moses wasn't stupid. Freddie took a bite. Pretty soon everybody was opening up their knapsacks. They was all taking bites. Why, it was a new invention that they was munching on. It was the most incredible thing. That stash had melted with some of the flour, some of them Hershey bars, some of them nuts, hot sausage sandwich, and melted all into, baked right in the heat of the sun, and turned into brownies. I mean, it was the same hot sun. It was the same hot sun burning them same faces. It was the same wind blowing the same sand in the same eyes and nose and mouth. It was the same desert that was over their knees. It was the same, but they was smiling. Pretty soon they was laughing. Pretty soon they was jumping up and down, they was singing and swinging, they yelling and dancing through the desert with Moses. They were having a wonderful time in the desert, and all of a sudden they pulled up to the edge of the desert, and there on the edge of the desert, there was an ocean. And they said, Moses, are we gonna do? There's an ocean out there. Moses said, wow, look at that. He looked around, he said, anybody here swim? And they jumped in the water, and they were so stoned out there, gods, they were doing the front stroke, back stroke, side stroke. They were swimming across the ocean with Moses. They was throwing brownies in the air, not a one touched the ground. It was the most amazing thing. All of a sudden, the Pharaoh's army pulls right up to the edge of the same spot. You look out there, and there's Moses and the kiddies swimming across the ocean. They said, my God, what's them widow freaks doing? We can't go back to Pharaoh without Moses. We can't go back without them giddies. And we can't go back without the stash. So they jumped in the water and they started swimming. But their badges were so heavy that they started drowning. Moses and the kiddies, they couldn't see over the waves. They didn't know what happened to Pharaoh's army. They just knew they was close behind. And Moses is on the other side. He's hauling people out the water like nobody could imagine. I mean, he's taking people in one hand. He's throwing the people, catching the folks that Moses is hauling out the water about 40 yards back. Moses throwing everybody out. He's having a wonderful day. He was a strong dude, you know. Amazing. All of a sudden, there was one chick left in the water. Her name was Mary. Moses reached out his right hand. Poor Mary, she was crying. She's freaking out, thinking that Pharaoh's army is right on her, about to get her, about to stab her, about to bring her back to Pharaoh. But Moses reached down, his kind eyes looked at her. At the same time, he looked at everybody else like only Moses could do. And he thought for a moment. He said, wow, what am I going to write in the Bible? We got stoned and swam across the ocean. He said, wait a minute, there's nobody gonna buy that one. So he looked them all in the eye a second time, which only like them Moses' eyes could do. He said, kiddies, now, wasn't that wonderful? The way the ocean opened up. And we walked right through. And they said, Moses, that was so beautiful. There's Moses with his right hand. Mary's clutching it. She's coming up out the water. She's freaking and crying. In Moses' left hand, the piano appears on a big rock. And Moses wrote the first song. Moses wrote the first song in the history of the world. And the last. And this is the song that Moses wrote. He looked right down there at that chick. He said, whoa, Mary, don't you weep, don't you moan. That's exactly what he said. He said, oh, Mary, don't you weep, don't you moan. You know the Pharaoh's army got drowned in. Whoa, Mary, don't you weep. They stopped playing with two hands. She was out the water by then. He had a whole chorus of people singing with him. It went like this. Oh, Mary, don't you weep, don't you moan. Oh, Mary, don't you weep, don't you moan. The Pharaoh's army got drowned in. Oh, Mary, don't you weep. And they all started singing along with Moses. Oh, Mary, don't you weep, don't you moan. Oh, Mary, don't you weep, don't you moan. You know Pharaoh's army got drowned in. Oh, Mary, don't you weep. Moses stood on the Red Sea shore, helping people out the water like never been here before. Pharaoh's army got drowned in. Oh, Mary, don't you weep. Oh, Ed Mose picked out a little tune like. Don't you weep, don't you moan. Whoa, Mary, don't you weep, don't you moan. You know the Pharaoh's army got drowned. Whoa, Mary, don't you weep.
Weren't that truly a historical moment? You learn more there than you might have ever learned anywhere else. I mean, for me, I learned where brownies came from. I had no idea where brownies might have come from. I wondered many a time, and now we know they come from the land of Egypt. What a wonderful thing to know. We'll be back in just a moment. And when we return, we'll have more education for us all. Oh, let's see. Oh, don't forgetting, the witching hour be upon us soon enough. So we got to go through the final 40. In order to go through that, you need be calling in to 1-323-HEAVE-HO. Get them our requests in, or we shall end up with a problem. And that problem be that we have no requests. And no requests means no final 40. And no final 40 means we might still be sane when the witching hour come upon us.
Hey, that supply of Ritz seems on the fritz.
No, stop, darling. Don't blow your top. I always keep another box handy.
Dandy! He knows Ritz crackers are richer, crisper, and his mouth is full, or he'd help us whisper. Only Nabisco bakes Ritz.
Hi, my name is Alfred Sneasley, and when I go to Heroes Comic Shop on 14th Street in Elmira Heights, New York, I'm always greeted with a big smile from Jared.
Hey, Alfred. Hey, how are you today?
And his selection of comics and graphic novels, it's just amazing. I mean, it's what I always dreamed I could be. And he always treats me like the hero I am inside.
I don't just read about the heroes, I become the hero! At Heroes Comic Shop, I become the hero Mom always wanted me to be!
So Heroes Comic Shop is located at 130 West 14th Street in Elmira Heights, New York. We're open Wednesday through Saturday. You can check us out at momtherout.com.
Now up and away!
As we continue on with our march through education, we've been touching on subjects like reading, writing, and arithmetic. Now, we must go on to the elements. That's right, the periodic table that makes up everything around us. We're made up of all atoms, but I tell you, I don't be trusting them atoms. They seem to be into everything, and when anything is into everything, it can't be trustworthy. Take me word for that. Now, it's Tom Lair's The Elements right here on the Captain's Quarters.
Now, if I may digress momentarily from the mainstream of this evening's symposium, I'd like to sing a song which is completely pointless, but is something which I picked up during my career as a scientist. This may prove useful to some of you someday, perhaps, in a somewhat bizarre set of circumstances. It's simply the names of the chemical elements set to a possibly recognizable tune. There's antimony, arsenic, aluminum, selenium, and hydrogen, and oxygen, and nitrogen, and rhenium, and nickel, neodymium, neptunium, germanium, and iron, americium, ruthenium, uranium, europium, zirconium, lutetium, vanadium, and lanthanum, and osmium, and astatine, and radium, and golden protactinium, and indium, and gallium. and iodine and thorium and thulium and thallium. There's yttrium, ytterbium, actinium, rubidium, boron, gadolinium, niobium, iridium, strontium and silicon and silver and samarium, and bismuth, lithium, beryllium and barium. Isn't that interesting? I knew you would. I hope you're all taking notes because there's going to be a short quiz next period. There's holmium and helium and hafnium and erbium and phosphorus and francium and fluorine and terbium and manganese and mercury, molybdenum and magnesium, dysprosium and scandium and cerium and cesium and lead, praseodymium and platinum, plutonium, palladium, promethium, potassium, polonium, and tantalum, technetium, titanium, tellurium, and cadmium and calcium and chromium and curium. There's sulfur, californium, and fermium, berkelium, and also mendelevium, einsteinium, nobelium, and argon, krypton, neon, radon, xenon, zinc, and rhodium, and chlorine, carbon, cobalt, copper, tungsten, tin, and sodium. These are the only ones of which the news has come to Harvard. And there may be many others, but they haven't been discovered. And now, may I have the next slide, please? Carried away there.
Good evening. Tonight, dinosaurs. I have here, sitting in the studio next to me, an elk. Oh, I'm sorry, Anne Elk. Mrs. Anne Elk. Miss Anne Elk, who is an expert on the
No, an elk.
What?
An elk, not an expert.
No, I was saying that you, Miss Elk, were an A-N, not A-N-N-E expert.
Oh.
On elks. I'm sorry, on dinosaurs.
Yes, I certainly am, Chris. How very true, my word, yes.
Now, Miss Elk, Anne, you have a new theory about the Brontosaurus.
Can I just say here, Chris, for one moment, that I have a new theory about the Brontosaurus?
Exactly. What is it?
Where?
No, what is your theory?
Oh, what is my theory?
Yes.
Oh, what is my theory that it is? Yes. Well, you may will ask, what is my theory?
I am asking.
And will you may? Yes, my word, you may will ask what it is, this theory of mine. Well, this theory that I have, that is to say, which is mine, is mine.
I know it's yours. What is it?
Where? Oh, what is my theory?
Yes.
My theory that I have follows the lines that I am about to relate.
Oh, God.
The theory by A. Elk. That's A for Anne, it's not by A. Elk.
Right.
This theory, which belongs to me, is as follows. This is how it goes. The next thing that I'm about to say is my theory. Ready? The theory by A.L. brackets, Miss Brackets. My theory is along the following lines.
Oh, God.
All brontosauruses are thin at one end, much, much thicker in the middle, and then thin again at the far end. That is the theory that I have, and which is mine, and what it is too.
That's it, is it?
Right, Chris.
Well, Anne, this theory of yours seems to have hit the nail on the head.
And it's mine.
Thank you for coming along to the studio.
My pleasure, Chris.
Britain's newest wasp
It's been
farm,
a lot of fun.
Opened
Saying
last
what my
week.
theory is.
Yes, thank you.
And whose it is.
Yes, opened last week.
I have another theory.
Not today, thank you.
My theory number 2, which is the second theory that I have. This theory
Shut up.
is what I'm about to say.
Oh, please
which,
shut up.
With what I have said, are the two theories that are mine and which belong to
Look,
me.
if you don't shut up, I shall shoot you.
My basic theories, which I possess the ownership of, which belongs to... The theory the second, by Anne...
Set hell there with Monty Python's An Elk sketch. You needn't to be understanding what the scientists and the teachers that be bringing you these hypotheses and theories bring our education in full circle, what they be like. And there was a good example of what a true educator be like. Now, let's head to the classroom with Cheech and Chong's Sergeant Stadenko to understand what the classrooms be like when you get a proper education.
Here we are, man. Here we are. What it is? Over here.
Class, come to order, please. Class,
are very privileged today to have a very special guest in our room.
My bathroom is a ghetto.
His name is Mr. Stadenko. And Mr. Stadenko is a narcotics officer. That's better, class. Now, Billy, where are you going?
I gotta go to the can, sister. I'll be right back.
You sit down, Billy.
Hey, no. Hey, I gotta go to the
Sit
can.
down, Billy, and whatever you have in your mouth, swallow it immediately.
Oh, hey, thanks a lot, sister. Hey, Billy, here. Swallow these too, man.
Now, class, I know that all you boys and girls here at Our Lady of 115th Street are too young to have any dealings with any of these dangerous drugs. But, as St. Dominic always said, O fili mi boni belly, dominus vobiscum beni, selling all his dominoes.
Who said that, man?
And with that, I want you to give Mr. Stadenko your undivided attention. Mr. Stadenko.
Thank you very much, Your Grace. And good afternoon, boys and girls. Thank you for inviting me into your classroom today. Now I have in front of me a green leafy substance which I am going to light. Now I wonder, could one of you boys and girls guess what this substance might be?
Acapulco Gold. No, it's Michoacan, man. Michoacan. Homegrown. No, it's Michoacan, man.
Well, that's very good, class. My sister, they do seem rather well informed.
Oh, they are, Mr. Stadenko, they are. Why, just last week I gave out 15 holy cards.
Well, that's great, sister. Okay, class. Now, as you know, this drug in front of me is what they call marijuana, or as it's known in the hippie world.
That's pot, man.
Pot, that's right.
Joint.
Joint.
Reefer, man.
Yes, reefer.
Jet.
Yes, but we don't call it that. We have other words for it. Now, contrary to popular belief, kids, and let me level with you, this stuff can give you brain damage. Make no mistake about that. It can. I know they've had other tests where they say it doesn't harm you, but believe me, kids, this stuff is dangerous to fool with. And remember, only dopes use dope. Now, class, are there any questions? Yes, the young fellow in the front row with the orange and purple shirt. You have a question?
Yeah. Hey, who cuts your hair?
Class. Now settle down, class. Now that wasn't very funny. Now settle down and give Mr. Stadenko your undivided attention. Mr. Stadenko.
Thank you, sister. Now, are there any more questions?
Yeah, man, I got a question.
Yes, you in the vest, is it?
Yeah.
You have a question, do you?
Yeah, man.
About the drug.
Yeah, about the drug thing. Hey, man, like I was watching TV the other day, man, and like they said, like if you knew some guy that was pushing like the drugs, man, and then you could call a telephone number and you could get a reward if you turn him in. Is that still on, man?
That's a very good question, son, and I'm glad that you brought it up. I was going to get to that. Yes, boys and girls, there is a program in which you can participate. Now, we are offering a reward for the pusher. Now, if there's anybody here has any information about a drug pusher, be it your brother, or maybe even your mother and dad, if you give us your name, we will give you a reward for turning in the drug pusher.
Hey, man, how much is the reward, man?
Well, actually, son, I'm not. I can't disclose the amount. It depends on how much drugs are confiscated.
Well then, but you have to tell the guy's name first, huh?
That's right.
Oh. Hey, well, I want to turn in Billy, man.
Hey, what are you talking about, man?
Hey, man, you saw me that man wouldn't get a fly high
Hey, I
the
want
other
to
day,
cream
man.
you, man.
Well, come on.
You're a stoolie, you puke.
Well, come on, man. You saw me that
I
stuff,
wanna
man. The
get
other day,
you,
man. It's
man.
nothing but oregano, man. I took it
Oregano?
home and I was selling it to my brothers and sisters, man. They wouldn't even get off on it, man.
Well, if it's oregano, you beaner, you can use it in your soup.
Oh, yeah, who's that beaner? Come on, man.
You're
You
a
want to
beaner,
cha-cha?
man.
Let's get down,
Come
man.
on, I'll meet you outside, man.
I don't need to go outside. Come on, let's
Come
go
right
right
now,
here.
man.
Come on,
Come
get
on.
right here. We'll put your money where your mouth is, man.
Well, come on, man.
We'll take that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, come here, you puke. Quit running. Come on, get out of there. Quit hiding behind that sister, you puke. Come on, man.
Class! Now you boys stop that fighting! Class, settle down! Class! Mr. Stadenko, help me!
It's all right, sister. I'll tell you what. I'll go call the police.
Class! Class, now you boys get away! Don't run around from me!
We'll be back with more of the captain's quarters in just, 1, 2, 3, a few shakes of a lamb's tail. But be not forgetting to call 323 Heave-Ho, or it's on ye.
Butter.
What was that?
Butter.
Parquet margarine.
Butter.
No, parquet. It says right on your lid, parquet margarine.
Butter.
Parquet. Smooth, delicious. Butter.
Parquet.
Oh, yeah.
Parquet margarine from Kraft. The flavor says butter.
Let's be a stopping into BC's restaurant and see what Mike be a cooking up.
But I brought us some raw squid and salami sandwiches so we could his picnic.
Oh, that's nice. But I wanted to treat you to a nice meal.
I'll save these for later.
Aye, let's be fetching in.
Oh, this is nice.
Aye, that'd be. And it looks like an old-fashioned diner at that.
And looks at this menu. It looks so good. They got the wings, the subs and salads. I think I get a BC big plate. Let's see. It comes with the cheeseburger, the hot dog, the fries, the cheese sauce, the meat sauce, and the coleslaw. Better mix that too. What are you having, my little pumpernickel?
I think I'll be having a double dog special. Oh, goody. It'd be a coming with chips and a drink too. Ha ha ha.
BC's Restaurant, 238 Oakwood Avenue, Elmira Heights. They have indoor, outdoor, and takeout available. 607-735-2166. And they're open from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m., Monday through Friday. You're listening to 1410 WELM Elmira and 106.5 FM The Pirate.
Welcome back to the second hour of me show, me boy. And boy, oh boy, have we got some splendiferous bits and baubles right in store for ye. For example, the Final 40. It'd be extremicated right from the request sent to us via the mail of...
That's email, you dolt.
That's what me be saying.
They can also call us at 323 Heave-Ho.
I'd like to heave-ho you.
But was that my little pumpernickel?
Nothing, my dear. You old sea hag.
Well, here, let me help you get this show going again.
Avast, you old bat. Heave-ho!
Heave-ho! Heave-ho! Johnny! Johnny!
We're all doomed. Oh, that's better.
See? I made it so better. I'm going to see about that dinner and work on my suntan.
Me's not even hungry, and it's be night time out, you crazy old bat. And don't slam the door. Well, I stepped out just for a moment and grabbed me secret stash. Aye, not the stash that they were talking about while dealing with Moses and how they made the brownies. No, I'm talking about me secret stash of chili. I don't want Babushka to find it and use it for something else, like polishing silverware and then feed me whatever it is that she decides to cook up, saying that the chili not be good enough. So, if you don't mind not telling her, I would very much appreciate that. That'd make your life and mine far, far better. Oh, let's see. Oh, yes, we were talking about education. And we're just about done for the subject for the day, or the evening, or the night, whatever it may be. What wouldn't be right if we didn't at least include Weird Al Yankovic's word crimes in all of this, for a true education is never complete until it's been written out on paper. Now here it be, Weird Al Yankovic's word crimes, right here on the captain's quarters.
Everybody shut up. Everyone listen up. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. If you can't write in the proper way, if you don't know how to conjugate, maybe you flunked that class, and maybe now you find that people mock you online. Okay, now here's the deal. I'll try to educate you. Gonna familiarize you with the nomenclature. You learn the definitions of nouns and prepositions. Literacy's your mission, and that's why I think it's a good time to learn some grammar. What? Now did I stammer? Work on that grammar. You should know when it's less or it's fewer. Like people who were never raised in a sewer. I hate these word crimes. Like I could care less. That means you do care. At least a little. Be a moron. Hey, you better slow down and use the right pronoun. Show the world you're no clown. Say you got an IT followed by apostrophe. Yes, now what does that mean? You would not use this in this case. As a possessive, it's a contraction. What's a contraction?
Well, it's the shortening of a word or group of words by omission of a single letter.
Okay, now here's some notes. Syntax, you're always mangling. No X in espresso. Your participles dangling. But I don't want your drama. If you really want, leave out that Oxford comma. Just keep in mind that BCRU are words, not letters. Get it together. Spell checker. You should never write words using numbers unless you're 7 or your name is Prince. I hate these word crimes. You really need them. I hate them crimes. Full-time proofreader. I mean those crimes. Dumb mouth breather. Well, you should hire some kind of linguist to help you distinguish what is proper English. One thing I ask of you, time to learn your homophones is past due. Learn to diagram a sentence too. Always say to whom, don't ever say to who. And listen up when I tell you this. I hope you never use quotation marks for emphasis. You finished second grade, I hope you can tell if you're doing good or doing well. Better figure out the difference. Irony is not coincidence. And I thought that you'd gotten it through your skull about what's figurative and what's literal. Oh, but just now you said you literally couldn't get out of bed. That really makes me want to literally smack a crowbar upside your stupid head. I read your email. It's quite apparent. Your grammar's errant. You're incoherent. Saw your blog post. It's really fantastic. That was sarcastic. Cause you write like a spastic. I hate these word crimes. Your prose is dopey. Think you should only write an emoji. You're a lost cause. Go back to preschool. Get out of the gene pool. Try your best to not drool. Never mind, I give up. Really, no, I give up.
I'm the urban spaceman, baby. I've got speed. I've got everything I need. I'm the urban spaceman, baby. I can fly. I'm a supersonic guy. I don't need pleasure. I don't feel pain. If you were to knock me down, I'd just get up again. I'm the urban spaceman, baby. I'm making out. I'm all about.
smile upon my face. My natural exuberance spills out all over the place. I'm the urban spaceman, I'm intelligent and clean. Know what I mean? I'm the urban spaceman, as a lover, second to none. It's a lot of fun. I never let my friends down, I've never made a boo. I'm a glossy magazine, an advert in the tube. I'm the urban spaceman, baby, here comes the twist. I don't exist.
That there be a song, and that be a song that you might have heard in the normals world around ye. And if you have and you thought, aye, that's truly a normal kind of song, then you means you might be a bit abnormal. And if you be a bit abnormal, well then you be the right kind of person to be listening to here. For here we have plenty of abnormals, and that is why we make ourselves normal in our own world by being abnormal in the other world. It made more sense when I thought it through, but that there be the Bonzo Dog Doodah Band with I'm an Urban Spaceman. Here be something else we throw at you. It's from a bit of an abnormal kind of thing, from not exactly abnormal, not exactly normal peoples. It'd be Robin Williams and Bobby McFerrin with Come Together, right here on the Captain's Quarters.
Here come on flat top, he comes grooving up slowly. He got juju eyeball, he won holy roller. He got hair down to his knee. Got to be a joker, he just do what he please. He got Warren's gumbo, he got on the sideboard, he won spinal cracker, he got feet down below his knees. Hold you in his armchair, you can feel his disease. Come together right now over me.
Daddy, Captain.
Molly, my dear.
Have you seen Mama Babushka?
No, why you be asking?
She bought a new flame-throwing rocket launcher at the swap meet yesterday.
Oh, goody.
And she's looking for the fuel ammo pods for it. I found them in the storage locker in the bathroom.
Aye, that'd be a fair place for stowage.
And now I'm trying to find her. Oh, I think I hear her. Bye!
Bye, my dear. Huh. I thought that crazy old bat be heading to the supermarket and not to a swap meet. I wonder what else that crazy old bat got us into this time.
Well, I was standing just about here, looking towards the road yonder when I seen it, right through that thin spot in that timber, you see. Now, I called my wife, and I said, step out here and tell me what this is. And she says, well, what in the world?
It was Stowe Wiggins while we're turning a jam jar to Bessie Mae Hootenpyle's place. About a mile out of town on the West Plains Road, he disappeared without a trace. They discovered his teeth when the county police made an investigation of the case. And Cousin Belle Simmons said that Sheriff Carl Pryor had the strangest look on his face. It was the biggest whatever that anybody ever saw. It was covered with fur and came a-rolling in from Arkansas. It was 40 feet high, a gleam in its eye, and a big purple patch on its craw. It was the biggest whatever that anybody ever saw. I saw old man Hutzel, who's 104, yesterday at Addie Chapman's house. He said it's much bigger now and when it carried off my cow, but it's not enough to worry about. He said back before the war there was a whole lot more, but they never came this far south. He said I don't mind seeing one from time to time, but I hope it ain't its regular route. It was the biggest whatever that anybody ever saw. It was covered with fur and came a-rolling in from Arkansas. It was 40 feet high, a gleam in its eye, and a big purple patch on its craw. It was the biggest whatever that anybody ever saw. It was the biggest whatever that anybody ever saw.
Grew up, still live in a small town in Missouri. It's called Crocker. It's population about 900, give or take. And people are always asking, like, man, how can you live in a town that small? Well, I have advantages you guys don't have. I'll never be the victim of an internet scam. I'm getting set up for my fantasy baseball this year, and an ad pops up for a one-time credit card payment of $99.95. We can send you the links and addresses of 8,000 hot and available women in your town tonight. No, you can't. Incorrect. I understand why people make fun of where I come from. I get it. I know a guy that wants to date his cousin. I know that guy. And he's asked my advice. He goes, man, what do you think? No. Would be my assessment of that. No. And he's all upset, like, well, you know, are you serious, man? Are you serious? He goes, no, it's not what you're thinking. We just have a lot in common. Yeah, like uncles.
There be Chad Thornsberry with Small Town Living. And before that, we had the Dillards with the biggest whatever. We'll be cutting the commercial right about now. But when we return, it shall be the final 40. And when we return, we hand the helm over to ye, and we shall see if you'll be running us upon the rocks, or we go to sweet waters. And it's be entirely up to ye. Aye.
What rolls downstairs, the motor impairs, rolls over your neighbor's dog. What's great for a snack and fits on your back? It's long, long, long. It's long, long. It's big, it's heavy, it's wood. It's long, long. It's better than that, it's good. Every everyone wants a log. You're gonna love it long. Come on and get your log. Everyone needs a log.
Log from Blammo. Look, Sidekick, a shop just for heroes.
No, it's a comic book shop and it's for everyone.
Not possible. See, it's even right in the name. Heroes. So that means you'll need to stay out here whilst I go shopping.
It's Heroes, your mom threw out comic shop, and it's for everyone, including sidekicks.
Hey guys, you know, the little guy is right. It's all about the love of comics, and not whether you can fly or not. But, by the way, I do love the cape.
Gee, thanks.
So Heroes Comic Shop is located at 130 West 14th Street in Elmira Heights, New York. We're open Wednesday through Saturday. You can check us out at momthroughout.com.
Oh, look! They have Archie comics!
Heroes Comics, for every kind of hero.
Well, here it be that time of the evening again. Before we come to the witching hour, we must pass through the final 40. And that be where the last 40 minutes of the show be dedicated to your insanity, not just mine, and me own. So, let us now... I was just thinking about something a little bit strange I saw the other day. But while I reminisce upon that, I shall hand it right over the phone lines and see where we shall be seeing what we see while we head out to sea. Hey, I see how that worked.
I want to hear Rock Lobster! Rock Lobster! Rock Lobster!
We were at a party. The earlobe fell in the day. Someone reached in and grabbed it. Was a rock lobster. Rock lobster. Rock lobster. The beach. Everybody had matching towels. Somebody went under a dock, and there they saw a rock. It wasn't a rock, it was a rock lobster. The ocean. His air hose broke. Lots of trouble. Lots of bubble. He was in a jam. Set a giant cloud. Rock. Rock. Down, down.
wife woke me up at 6 o'clock in the morning. She said, I want you to go downstairs and cook breakfast for the children. And I looked at the clock. I said, dear, it's 6 o'clock in the morning. She said, exactly. Go down and cook for the children. They have to go to school. I said, yes, but to eat at 6 o'clock, isn't that bad for your stomach? I mean, they just ate 12 hours ago. My wife said, Bill, get out of that bed and go downstairs and cook breakfast for your children. And I said, well, I don't know what they want to eat. She said, it's down there. Now you get out of the bed. So I got up. Needless to say, I was angry. And I went downstairs without putting on my robe. Standing there in my pajamas, and I'm talking to myself. I got to get these. Went out and cooked breakfast, but it's 6 o'clock in the morning, and I slammed the pans down. Blam! On the stove. And I slam them down and go to the refrigerator and look around and get the damn bacon and the sausage. And cooking breakfast 6 o'clock. Blam! In the morning, and I grabbed the. You have to be careful with eggs. Got to cook breakfast. Boom! The first one down was a 4-year-old. The child looked lovely. Cute, little face, clean, hair, little braids, little things, you know. Come on, darling. And I said, what do you want for breakfast? And the 4-year-old has the ability to see through and find the wrong thing. And the child saw through my body what was behind me. She saw the chocolate cake. And she said, can I have a chocolate cake? And I said, chocolate cake where? She said, chocolate cake behind you. And I looked, and there was chocolate cake. The child wanted chocolate cake for breakfast. How ridiculous. And I said, and someone in my brain looked under chocolate cake and saw the ingredients. Eggs. Eggs are in chocolate cake. And milk. Oh, goody. And wheat. That's nutrition. What do you want? There's a chocolate cake. Chocolate cake coming up. Sliced it for her and served it. Now, you need something to drink with the chocolate cake. Something breakfast. Grapefruit juice. This is not your child. So I give the child a glass of grapefruit juice and chocolate cake. Nutrition. Eggs, milk, and wheat in the chocolate cake. And I didn't have to cook. And the other 4 came downstairs. And when they came downstairs, those of you who have children, you've seen them come downstairs for school. And they got to the kitchen. And they saw the 4-year-old eating chocolate cake. And they said, Dad, where did she get the chocolate cake? And they went to the child and said, how did you get chocolate cake? He said, Dad, give me chocolate cake. And they looked at me and they said, Father. could we have chocolate cake? And their father said, chocolate cake, coming up, 4 slices. And grapefruit juice. And 5 children sat at breakfast. And the morning music was playing. And they were eating chocolate cake. And singing songs to me. That is great. Give us a chocolate cake. And we had a ball until she came down like this. And when she saw what the children were eating, I've always heard about people having a conniption, but I've never seen one. You don't want to see them. My wife's face split. The skin and hair split and came off of her face so that there was nothing except a skull. And orange light came out of her hair, and it lit all around, and fire shot from her eye sockets and began to burn my stomach. And she said, where did they get chocolate cake from? And I said, they asked for it. And the children who had been singing praises to me lied on me and said, we asked for eggs and milk, and Dad made us eat this. And my wife sent me to my room, which is where I wanted to go in the first place.
There be Bill Cosby requested from the Mail of E. Don't be forgetting, you can join us there on the Mail of E, or actually through the Book of Face. The Captain's Quarters, 106.5, right there on the Book of Face. We have the group, we have the page. Join us in the group and have the real tongue-tickling time, or the tummy-tickling. We have some kind of tickling time, and you'll enjoy it much. That's there, Did I say that was Bill Cosby's chocolate cake? If I didn't, well, I just did. So there be, I'm confuzzled, but fear not. I have some semblance of what is going on. So that, let's jump right into Weird Al Yankovic's Eat It. It was requested from the Mail of E, and the next one after that shall be too.
Kids are starving in Japan, so eat it, just eat it. Don't wanna argue, I don't wanna debate. Don't wanna hear about what kind of food you hate. You won't get no dessert till you clean off your plate, so eat it. Don't you tell me you're full, just eat it, eat it. Get yourself an egg and beat it. Have some more chicken, have some more pie. It doesn't matter if it's boiled or fried. Just eat it, just eat it, just eat it, just eat it. Oh! Your table manners are a crying shame. You're playing with your food, this ain't some kind of game. Now if you starve to death, you'll just have yourself to blame. So eat it, just eat it.
You better listen, better do what you're told. You haven't even touched your tuna casserole. You better chow down or it's gonna get cold, so eat it. I don't care if you're full, just eat it. Eat it. Open up your mouth and feed it. Have some more yogurt, have some more Spam. It doesn't matter if it's fresh or canned, just eat it. Eat it. Don't you make me repeat it. Have a banana, have a whole bunch. It doesn't matter what you had for lunch. Just eat it, eat it, eat it, eat it. Eat it, eat it, eat it, eat it. You can't send it back, just eat it, eat it. Get yourself an egg and beat it. Have some more chicken, have some more pie. It doesn't matter if it's boiled or fried, just eat it, eat it. Don't you make me repeat it.
I can scarf a dozen donuts and lick the sugar off my hands. If I had 100 tacos, I could eat them on command. If I eat them even faster, you can see my waist expand. But the bloated feeling that I get is the part that I can't stand. In the middle of the kitchen, I can't help but gain a pound. I'll never taste the thrill of victory till I finally chow down. I can offer no defense when that aroma fills the place. When I'm served a tray of burgers, I will gladly stuff my face. I can eat it all, alfalfa, sprouts, and greens. But when it comes to fast food, I eat everything. I can eat it all, whatever I desire. It's fat that I require, 'cause I'm a butterball. I can eat it all. The source of my condition is the fact I don't abstain. I can measure my consumption by the weight that I have gained. Well, my friends call me a glutton, and that causes me such pain. If they serve me one more salad, I think I will go insane. 'Cause I've laid aside the health food for the fatter foods I found. When I get my hands on pizza, I can never put it down. When I hit my favorite restaurants, I eat everything I see. After hours at the buffet, they are begging me to leave. I can eat it all, alfalfa, sprouts, and greens. But when it comes to fast food, I eat everything. I can eat it all, whatever I desire. It's fat that I require,
there be the requested song by Mark Lowry. Oh, I can eat it all. Why, you wouldn't ever know what that title be. Hey, he never mentions it once in the entire song. Quite a surprise, ain't it? We're going to commercial. We'll be right back. And when we return, it'll be the second half of the Final 40. So be prepared. Be brave. Oh, be prepared, me friends. For I think Babushka's been practicing.
50 to 60 years ago, people were introduced to peanut butter for the first time. They looked it over carefully. The daring and courageous bought it. Well, children loved it. But Ma and Pa were more critical. They discovered it had several drawbacks. It became oily and sticky and didn't stay fresh very long. It was rather hard to digest. It didn't taste like peanuts. Grown-ups never became peanut butter fans until 1933, when a new kind of peanut butter started to appear in grocery stores. It looked different. It smelled different. It tasted different. It had practically nothing in common with the old-style product.
Let's be a stopping into BC's restaurant and see what Mike be a cooking up.
But I's brought us some raw squid and salami sandwiches so we could his picnic.
Oh, that's nice. But I wanted to treat you to a nice meal.
I'll save these for later.
Aye, let's be fetching in.
Oh, this is nice.
Aye, that'd be. And it looks like an old-fashioned diner at that.
And looks at this menu. It looks so good. They got the wings, the subs and salads. I think I get a BC big plate. Let's see, it comes with the cheeseburger, the hot dog, the fries, the cheese sauce, the meat sauce, and the coleslaw. Better mix that too. What are you having, my little pumpernickel?
I think I'll be having a double dog special. Oh, goody. It'd be a coming with chips and a drink too. Ha ha ha.
BC's Restaurant, 238 Oakwood Avenue, Elmira Heights. They have indoor, outdoor, and takeout available. 607-735-2166. And they're open from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m., Monday through Friday.
Let us be jumping right back to the phone lines before the witching hour be upon us. And then maybe we shall be daft enough to survive. And if you don't, I'm sorry. And I'll see you on the other side, or we're deemed down in Davy Jones's locker. Just stay away from his sock locker. Aye, he hasn't washed a sock in many a century, and you can only be a thinking what that be a smelling like. Have you ever gone into a teenage boy's room? That's a million times worse than that. And that's, well, I not that I've ever been there, no. Well, let's go right to the phone lines.
Boy, howdy. I'd like to hear me some Goober Peas. Shazam! Thank ye.
I went to see a gypsy woman late last night. Told her everything I do, it never works out right. I gave her all my money, nearly 11 cents. She said you need a magic word to give you confidence. Just say Shazam, zip zap, man, you gotta put a whammy on. You can move the world or walk into the Pentagon. No one's ever heard that special secret word. So if you want your way, just remember what to say. Shazam! Shazam! I went to see a banker with a white shirt on. I tried to get a loan, but my account was overdrawn. And since my credit rating don't exist, I asked him for the money with a brand new twist. I said, Shazam, zip-zap, man, I went and put a whammy down. Banker changed his mind, said, how'd you like to buy the town? Made me a VP. People, can't you see? If you want your way, just remember what to say. Shazam! Shazam! Cutest little queen of the county fair had a pretty smile and long blonde hair. She had a lot of suitors like a flock of birds, but she chose me when she heard these words. I said, Shazam, zip zap, honey, won't you come and be my wife? You can clean house and cook for me all my life. Now I know, and it really goes to show, if you want your way, just remember what to say. Shazam! 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 Shazam!
Not all the songs were sad during the Civil War. Some were kind of funny, humorous. There's a story about this. There's a fellow pulled up some weeds once, and there's some little things on the roots. They turned out to be peanuts. Now, the fellow that pulled up the weeds, his name was Mr. Goober. So they were known as Goober Peas. Shall we sing?
Yeah, let's do it.
Sitting by the roadside on a summer's day, chatting with my messmates, passing time away, laying in the shadows underneath the trees. Goodness, how delicious eating Goober Peas. Peas, 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 eating Goober Peas. Goodness, how delicious eating Goober Peas.
My grandpa called them ground peas, I think.
Yes.
Now, when a horseman passes, the soldiers have a rule to cry out at their loudest, hey, mister, here's your mule. But another pleasure enchantinger than these is wearing out your grinders, eating Goober Peas. Peas, 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 eating Goober Peas. Goodness, how delicious eating Goober Peas. Just before the battle, the general hears a row. He said, the Yanks are coming, I hear their rifles now. He turned around in wonder, and what do you think he sees? He sees the Georgia militia eating Goober Peas. Peas, 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 eating Goober Peas. Goodness, how delicious eating Goober Peas.
The last there phone call confuzzled me a little bit, so I decided to cover all me bases, I think. So I threw at him Jim Neighbors, other was Goober Pile, with Shazam, and then some Goober Peas, done by, you be guessing it, it be Burl Ives and Johnny Cash. Now there be a lineup for ye. We need to ask a little bit about science. Someone was asking about Dr. Science. So let's ask Dr. Science now. Let's see, which one shall it be? Oh, here's be a good one.
It's time once again to Ask Dr. Science. So let's ask Dr. Science.
That's me.
Remember, he knows more than you do.
That's right.
Dear Dr. Science, writes Phil Jennings from St. Cloud, Minnesota, if scientists are so smart, why do they say things like quark and Google?
You know, your average scientist tends to be a person who never really had a childhood. While others were talking baby talk and engaging in the innocent games children play, most of your future scientists were locked in a basement laboratory sweating over a slide rule and a Bunsen burner. Small wonder that when finally given a measure of freedom and respectability, scientists choose to get playful. Allow them their fun. Remember what a grumpy scientist can do with a few grams of plutonium, a harbored grudge, and a nursed resentment?
Thank you, Dr. Science. Send your science questions to Ask Dr. Science. Remember, he's not a real doctor.
I have a master's degree
in science.
Hello, boys and girls. This is your old pal, Stinky Whizzleteeth. This is a song about a whale. No! This is a song about being happy. That's right. It's the Happy, Happy, Joy, Joy song.
Happy, happy, joy, joy, happy, happy, joy, joy. Happy, happy, joy, joy, happy, happy, joy, joy. Happy, happy, joy, joy, happy, happy, joy, joy. Happy, happy, joy, joy, joy.
I don't think you're happy enough. That's right. I'll teach you to be happy. I'll teach your grandmother to suck eggs. Now, boys and girls, let's try it again.
Happy, happy, joy, joy, happy, happy, joy, joy. Happy, happy, joy, joy, happy, happy, joy, joy. Happy, happy, joy, joy, happy, happy, joy, joy. Happy, happy, joy, joy, joy.
If and you ain't the granddaddy of all liars, the little critters of nature, they don't know that they're ugly. That's very funny. A fly marrying a bumblebee. I told you I'd shoot, but you didn't believe me. Why didn't you believe me?
Happy, happy, joy, joy, happy, happy, joy, joy. Happy, happy, joy, joy, happy, happy, joy, joy. Happy, happy, joy, joy, happy, happy, joy, joy. Happy, 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 joy, joy, joy.
Now there be some Ren and Stimpies with Happy, Happy, Joy, Joy. Aye, there be times, I think, when we all have had times where we just need to be singing a song like that, especially when we're at work, in your suit and tie. You start singing it around, either you'll get a raise or people will stay out of your way. Either way, you win! Now let's go right into another requested one by the Time Lord. It be Doctor in the TARDIS!
Doctor Who, Doctor Who, hey! The TARDIS, Doctor Who, hey! Doctor Who, Doctor Who, Doctor Who, Doctor
That there, a true classic. Don't be forgetting to be joining us there on the Book of Face. That'd be right. You can set sail with us every single day if you wish, or just from time to time. It's best if you set sail with us on Sundays, but there on the Book of Face, we have things like, a joke here, a joke there, a little bit of conversation, a little bit of confuzzlement. And we also put in links to the YouTubes that'll have the old shows or encore presentations. And so ye can be hearing what be happening over the last many months. Aye, it's all be right there. The Captain's Quarters, 106.5. We must be prepared. If you're not daft yet, you'd better be, because you got, here it be, she's here! Run for cover!
All right, Nudnik. I'm glad I got that flame-throwing rocket launcher yesterday, and I found the fuel pods today. Anyway, I finally take care of that stinking albatross been stealing my laundry off the mast. Took care of him real good. We may need no mast and a couple sails, but that albatross? The albatross is gone. Anyway, I has real nice song for you today. She's a good girl. Loves her mama, loves Jesus, and America too. She's a good girl, crazy about Elvis, loves horses, and her boyfriend too. And I'm free falling. Yeah, I'm free falling, just like that stinking bird. It's a long day, living in Reseda. There's a freeway running through the yard, and I's a bad boy, 'cause I don't even miss her. I's a bad boy for breaking her heart, and I's free falling, and I'm free falling.
I do believe we've been tortured well enough. Good night.
So just chill till the next episode.